What is leaky gut? Is this true? It is true. Now, a couple of times this week, I've drawn the lining of the gastrointestinal tract. Looks like that. And it has a thick turf wall. Do you remember what that's made out of? Lactobacillus acidophilus bifidus bacterium. It's a thick mucosa wall. And when that wall starts to break down, basically that's leaky gut, because that thick mucosa wall has 4 functions. One is it's responsible for the final breakdown of the food. It's also responsible for the absorption of the food. This gut flora is responsible for protecting the blood against any harmful pathogens, and it nourishes the little cells that line the gastrointestinal tract. The little cells that line the gastrointestinal tract, they're basically made down here, they travel up, and every 3 to 5 days, away they go. So every 3 to 5 days, the cells that line the gastrointestinal tract are remade. So if that gut lining breaks down, what would break it down? Antibiotics, the contraceptive pill, statin drugs, cortisone, ibuprofen, which is Nurofen, the painkillers. Now we've got a leak. You see that? There's your leaky gut. And here's the blood in here. So here's the gastrointestinal tract. The food's coming down, it gets broken down, and then it comes in to get through and into the blood. So how do you heal that? Number 1, there are 3 foods that are like kerosene to a fire in here, and that is the hybridized wheat and dairy and refined sugar. Now there's something else, and with some people that aren't responding, this is what you question. Is there any exposure to mold? Is there any exposure to chemicals? And is there any exposure to heavy metals? Now, how mold can exacerbate the problem? When mold gets into the gut, it causes a growth of the candida. You've heard of candida? Candida albicans. There are dozens of different species of candida albicans. So you put that on top of the fact that the antibiotics have killed off the good bacteria. Another reason why candida can get out of control. The body runs according to precision balance, though this is actually throwing out the balance. Number 2, probiotic. And this should be taken 3/4 of an hour before breakfast. 3/4 of an hour before breakfast, you take a probiotic supplement. And that allows the probiotic to go way, 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 way down to where you want it. If you take a probiotic with your meal, the hydrochloric acid can wipe it out, because hydrochloric acid, in fact, in my book, I call it the stomach's secret weapon. You see, hydrochloric acid kills off any harmful microbes, and it also connects with pepsinogen to produce pepsin, which breaks down protein. So probiotics important. Number 3, and we've looked at this a couple of times, there are 2 herbs that coat, soothe, and heal the lining of the gut. One is aloe vera, and the other one is slippery elm. And I think I told you about the man from Kenya, that by the end of the week, his ulcerative colitis had calmed right down. No more bleeding from the bowel, no more pain in a couple of days. Bowel movements calmed right down. And that was the slippery elm 4 times a day. Now, I'm about to give you something else. And this is a mix that we make at our health retreat. And for very severe cases, I do this. And I did it for him. I call it digest powder. And digest powder, you can make it yourself by just getting the herbs. If we do sell it, but I know it's difficult to get herbs into New Zealand. So it's 8 part slippery elm. And that's the coat, soothe, lining, healing. 1 part myrrh. Myrrh is a gum resin, and myrrh is a strong antimicrobial and healer. 1 part golden seal. Golden seal is king of tonics to all mucous membranes. So if someone has quite a serious problem, then I give them that mix. Now the dose, you put that all together in a jar, and they all must be powdered. The dose is 1 teaspoon to about half a cup of warm water. Now if someone's serious, let's say someone's going to the toilet 10 times a day, I would give them that 4 times a day, before each meal and before bed. As it all settles down, they might have it just in the morning and just before bed. And when the colon is now perfectly well and there's no problem, you stop. And then maybe 6 months down the track, not drinking enough water, slipped a bit of this food in, stayed in a motel room and discovered that the carpet was mouldy, can you see, etc., etc. And it starts up again. What do? You go back to the nursery. And Dr. Natasha Campbell-McBride, in her book, when she gets someone with severe colon problems, she just puts them on thick soup. That's it. Thick soup. Thick vegetable soup. That 4 times a day. And remember, the cells that line the gastrointestinal tract, they're remade every 3 to 5 days. So you should be getting results quite quickly. If you're not, you put the detective hat on and see if there's any exposure to these 3.